now are Aaron Finch and Brett Lee. Aaron Finch has captained Australia in T20s and ODIs and was the captain of the Australian team when they won the T20 World Cup more than 3 years ago. He was also the 2015 World Cup winning squad. And Brett Lee, who doesn't know Brett Lee? Australia's World Cup winning teams of 2003 and 2007 and the fastest bowler in the world. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me. How wonderful to talk to both of you. We are here, of course, because we are discussing India's victory in the T20 World Cup. Let me begin with you, Aaron. You were the Australian captain when Australia won the T20 World Cup 3 years ago. What kind of emotions do you think Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and others would be going through when they lifted that cup?
Oh, they'll be incredibly proud. I think the achievement to win a World Cup has been coming for a long time for India. They've been really close a couple of times. So I think the further away it gets from the game that they played, and it was a very, very special game, the way that they fought, particularly at the back end of the match to get back into a winning position and ultimately take home the trophy. They'll just be feeling unbelievably proud of themselves, of each other, but also a lot of the people that helped them along the way.
Brett Lee, you bowled many times under pressure in the death overs, and you know the pressure fast bowlers like yourself face when bowling towards the end of an innings. Tell us about the kind of pressure that would have played on the minds of Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya and Arshdeep Singh. You know, when South Africa needed just 26 runs to win with 6 wickets in hand in the last 4 overs.
Oh, look, I think what you said there, they kept their composure, and that's exactly what they did. That's what great athletes do. That's what people have with experience, you know, underneath their belt can do. You know, they play with that fearlessness. They go out there and try to win every single match. But, the experience that they've had, the time and the pressure that they've been under previously, they can sort of fall back on that. So, to me, it wasn't a massive surprise that they could shut the team down, you know, and defend, I guess, you know, the last sort of 4 or 5 overs because they've done it previously. And when you've been in a situation, whether it's chasing down a lower total or trying to defend a total, you have to back yourself and you have to fall back on that experience, and they definitely did that.
But, Aaron, the fact is that India had lost just about 8 months ago to Australia in the World Cup finals in the 50-over format. India had won all their 10 games going up to the final, but lost to Australia in the finals. We could see how upset the team was. How does this team then collectively pick itself up, come back after a huge setback? Because 8 months on, they won the T20 World Cup. What does it take to get you from the back of beyond right up front there with the confidence to lift the cup?
Well, I think the fact that it's a different format of the game just takes it totally out of their hands. The ability for them to be able to, I guess, just have a full reset after the 50-over World Cup, they would have been hurting after that, no doubt. But then as time passes, they've gone and played a full season of IPL, so that gives you the opportunity to reset into T20 mode. And it's amazing the ability for great players to be able to move their mind on to what's coming up in front and not dwell on what's happened behind. That's so important, because if you keep living in the past, you'll keep making mistakes over and over, and the pressure will get too big. So I'm sure internally they all had their own ambitions of winning the World Cup, but as a team they played as a real unit right throughout, and that's the most important thing, is you come together for one common goal, and that's to win and do everything that you can for your team to win a match. So it's no surprise. I mean, they've been in that situation before where you've lost a series or you've lost a match and you have to bounce back quickly, and great players have got an ability to do that quicker than others.
Brett Lee, the question is also about the fact that this World Cup into T20 format has come after a few years. The format, the style, in the manner in which this format is played has undergone a lot of change. How do you see the previous format, the new format, and is it really an evolving format, and is it tougher today than it was in the past?
Yeah, look, I think it's all relative to what you want to achieve. If you want to be a one-day cricketer or a test cricketer, and, you want to play against India in terms of being an Australian player and wear the baggy green cap, well, then, of course, that's going to be the pinnacle. You also might be a young guy coming through from Australia and think that I just want to play T20 cricket and play in the Indian Premier League, which is fine too. So, of course, that would be the pinnacle to win the T20 World Cup. So it's all relative to what your goals and dreams and aspirations are. In terms of the way the game has progressed, it's been incredible. Some of the shots these batsmen are playing now are... Thank God I'm retired from the Australian cricket team, put it that way, because, they are incredible strokes. We've seen the laps of yesteryear and the different shots, but now we're seeing these incredible shots. Guys bowling, 140k Yorkers and just getting swept for six, getting paddled for six, getting somehow hit straight back over their head. Shots that you wouldn't normally see. Batsmen are getting themselves into positions now and playing shots which are just in awe. And now as a broadcaster and to commentate on that, it's truly spectacular. Being back out in the middle, though, yesterday was fun and brought back some really good memories. But, yeah, the game has improved so much. It's tough for the bowlers, but we understand that and you have to deal with that. And we also have to evolve as fast bowlers in this format of the game too, T20 cricket.
Well said, well said. But, Aaron, let's talk about the role of a captain. You've been a captain to the Australian team. There are players, let's talk about Hardik Pandya, went through a lot of mess, if I can call it that, his life under scrutiny, personal life, trolling, because, fans can be very kind, they celebrate with you, but they can be extremely rough when you go through a bad patch. What kind of a role does the captain actually play as a manager? And how do you motivate them, in the dressing room to get them to a mental fitness level to be able to win the World Cup?
Well, over the years, it's probably changed. From when I first started playing cricket, it was all about team meetings and most of the stuff that would be said would be in a really open forum in front of everyone. And as time has gone on, in my experience with the Australian cricket team, is most conversations happen one-on-one, whether it's with players, player to player or coach to player. And players are probably a bit more vulnerable with each other these days than what they were in the past. It's okay to say if you're not, or if you're struggling with something, particularly on the field or off the field, and then you've got your team around you to then help each other be better, help each other improve, help each other through difficult circumstances, whether it's an off-field issue that someone like Hardik was going through, or whether it's an on-field, something with your game that needs a touch-up. But everything's very individualised now, and the way that you speak to somebody is really important. Sometimes it's not about the words that you use, it's about how you get the message across to somebody, and each and every player is totally different in that regard.
Brett Lee, you played with Rohit, Virat, Rahul Dravid. Rahul Dravid probably ending his time as a coach to the Indian team. Rohit and Virat have both announced their retirement from the T20 format. Extremely emotional victory for them. What do you think of Gen Next in the T20 format with the exit of these greats?
Look, I think they've left the Indian cricket team at the right time. I think that, Indian cricket also owe a lot to those wonderful players. A couple of you mentioned the Hitman and Kohli, of course, and then Dravid as coach, and obviously a great player in his era and a guy I love bowling against. They have really shaped Indian cricket. So Indian cricket's going to be in a much better space because of those three players and the people behind the scenes. But it's time to move forward now, and you've got some younger guys coming through like it is with the Australian cricket team. You can't play cricket forever, and as long as you leave the game in a better place, without sounding like a cliche, you want to be able to be comfortable when you do hang up your boots that, the guys that come in are going to replicate and even do a better job than what you've done personally. So I think that Indian cricket's in a very good space at the moment, and congratulations, most importantly, to those three players, two players and a coach that have moved on.
Well, wonderful. But finally, before I let you go, Brett Lee, it's by popular demand. You were part of the band Six and Out. You've also shared the screen and mic with some legends like Asha Bhonsle in India. You just, before I let you go, you just have to sing something before we end this interview, because Indians want to hear you and they love your Hindi.
Aram se, I won't be singing, but Hame Tumara Hun Tumari Hirukta. That's what I did with Asha Jain. She's a legend. Aapse milke khushi hui.
Aapse milkar khushi hui. Hame bhi bahut khushi hui. Thank you very much, Aaron Finch and Brett Lee. Thank you very much for speaking to me on the Newshour tonight. All the very best to both of you and take care.